नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
Want this over here if I can. Because I won't be able to
Can move
see.
this a little over.
Yeah, a little bit this
We
side.
can put the microphone on the little.
Oh,
I
here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This way.
This one.
Let's put that this side.
This one.
This way.
It doesn't.
It won't
It
go
only
from-
goes.
Oh, you want this that side? Should we do next? Yeah, we can do it.
Oh.
Like that. Do you have crisp? You don't have crisp.
Oh, sorry.
Crisp is not there in this, right? Okay. I'm done with it. Okay. Yes, I think so. We'll get started presently. Just a minute. Few settings to figure out. Okay.
गुरुवंदनम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ऋकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च ऋकारस्त्वन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुस्तुतिः ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतम्
ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्ययसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Very nice. Now we are in the we are entering verse number 50. Which chapter? Helps to know, especially after a little bit of a gap. So up till now we have seen this the first definition of Karma Yoga. And what is that? Samatvam Yogaha Uchyate. Samatvam means equanimity. Equanimity is yoga. And equanimity means not just doing the same thing at the same time or at different times. Equanimity is receiving the results of action more or less in the same demeanor, same kind of way, without much change. Not hitting the ceiling when it's a wonderful result, or plunging into the depths of depression if it is a difficult result. And that is what is equanimity. And so in Sanskritam, it is called samatvam. Sama, equal. Samatvam, equalness, equanimity. Okay, because whenever that tvam comes in, that is it's a particular kind of a suffix. So that is what it gives, that it makes it into an abstract noun. So we have been looking at that, and we have seen that action without this equanimity is actually a difficult prospect. And why is it a difficult prospect? Because it is focused on the results of action when all the time. Focused on the results of action. It's totally oriented towards gaining what I want and letting go of what I don't want. And it never works out like that, really. But that is the impetus. That is where the focus is. And therefore, we are coming out of that. We are coming out of becoming a karma phala hog, karma phala holic, which means one who is only interested in the results of action. And all action is for the sake of manufacturing the results of action. And so the person who is always going, trying to produce something that they want to get and trying to keep at bay things they do not want to have, lead a very, very exhausting life. Very exhausting. So we saw how it's not just exhausting, but the Lord Krishna, and then in the Bhasya, Adi Shankara, they point out how this is an inferior kind of a life, because it is not producing any self-growth. Because I earlier had this mentality of grab this, grab that, I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that. And so wholly just looking at making the body more comfortable, I mean, nothing wrong, but if that's like an obsession, that's the problem. Making the mind always, a certain way, trying to avoid things that I don't like, trying to reproduce things that I love, this becomes everybody's focus. Those who are not understanding this yoga. And so it doesn't, such a life is not conducive to self-growth. Why? Because all the time I'm keeping inimical things at bay. And there is no, it's very time consuming. And as we saw, it is also very exhausting. And as a result, there is no inner space, nor there is time to think about anything expansive, nothing. It's just extremely time consuming, because you're just going from one want to another want, or one don't want to another don't want, protecting the wants and keeping don't wants at bay. And so that's more of a tamasic life, a kind of, a remnant from the time that one had janmas, births as animals. So this is what animals do. Predators are kept at bay, and then whatever the animal wants, the prey is kept in view. In the mind of the animal, there's only two things. Says, stay away from the predators and then go after the prey, especially the carnivorous animals, the big cats and all. So prey is there. And then
Swamiji, sorry to disturb you.
predators,
Actually, volume is a little low.
volume is low.
Thank you.
This is completely high. What shall we do?
It is high. Okay.
Maybe I'll go maybe in the Zoom itself, there are some preferences that I can look at. Hold on, I'll try to fix it. I just found it, but I don't know where it's gone now.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you make that up, come down? There it is. Not this one. See, now I want it. How do, here.
Yeah, it's on full volume actually from my side.
It's on full volume, but I don't know output. Okay. Is it better now?
Oh, Swamiji, I think it's not selected this one.
Yeah, it's not selected this. Okay.
Yeah, Mauna,
That's what.
yeah.
Is it better now?
Oh, much better, Swamiji.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is it better now?
Yeah, much better.
Yes? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Yes. So this is what is called prakritam life. Prakrita means as nature made. And this is how animals live. There's only two things in their mind. One is prey. Prey means you go after it. And predator means what? You go away from it. And this leftover buddhi is there in the hearts of the people as well. This kind of a leftover thinking is there due to perhaps the old samskaras, the vasanas, the impressions of having led this kind of a life. And so go after what you want, that is prey, correct? And then keep away from what you think is dangerous. And so this is what in Sanskritam it's called pravritti, going towards, nivritti, withdrawing away or running away from. So you run away from rope snake morning to night and then you go towards what? The silver dollar which is in the sand, but then upon examination, what is it? It's just a shell, mother of pearl. Mother of pearl. So this is, from this orientation to get to the place of desiring some change and seeing that this is not conducive to my self-growth needs a lot, needs a lot of grace working over time. I mean, samatvam is far away. So from PREY to PRAY, that is karma yogi. So that's a very big jump. And so therefore it has to be done, but it is something that needs to, that transformation needs to occur. And so if anybody has even the slightest bit of desire for this, then if they pick it up, then they will be on this road. And so one particular, we've seen many ways of how karma, what is karma yoga, we have seen in great detail. Now the text, the Bhagavad Gita, takes up two particular concepts, two definitions here. And the third definition is given in the 6th chapter. But in the 2nd chapter, verse number 48, one definition, 50, second definition. What is the first definition? What is the first definition?
Yoga karma kaushalam.
Samatvam. We just talked about it. I just gave a long recap. Okay. So the first definition is what? Samatvam, equanimity. Now the second definition is about to be given, and it is sadly mistranslated as skill in yoga. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. The word kushalasya bhava kaushala. Kushala is translated as skill because that's the colloquial meaning. Colloquial meaning of the word kushala means what, paka kushalaha. This man or this person is very good in cooking. Grihakarye kushala. So she is very good at work around the house. So like this, there are the word kushala in everyday parlance means someone who is very good at it. So here the word, if you translate it as skillful, it doesn't yield anything other than a headache because you don't know the meaning of this at all. So it's not really skill in karmasu means with reference to action, skill, kaushalam, skill. Skillful action means what? Even a pickpocket is very skillful. You don't know that even your pocket has been gone through. You don't know that. Even the pickpocket is skillful. So obviously it means something else. And let's see what the Bhashya says. Then let us see. Let us read the 50th. Let us chant the 50th verse. Buddhi yukto jahatiha.
Buddhi yukto jahatiha.
Ubhe sukruta dushkrute.
Ubhe sukrita dushkrite.
Tasmad yogaya yujyasva.
Tasmad yogaya yujyasva.
Yoga karmasu kaushalam.
Yoga karmasu kaushalam.
Buddhi yukto jahatiha.
Buddhi yukto jahatiha.
Ubhe sukruta dushkrite.
Ubhe sukrita dushkrite.
Tasmad yogaya yujyasva.
Tasmad yogaya yujyasva.
Yoga karmasu kaushalam.
Yoga karmasu kaushalam.
So buddhi yuktaha means endowed with a particular, buddhi here is not intellect, a thinking, endowed with a particular thinking. And what is this thinking? This kind of an equipped with a particular thinking. Thinking means here mindset. Equipped with a particular mindset. What is the mindset? The mindset is samatvam, because that is what we have just discussed. Okay? So equipped with the mindset of equanimity. This is the meaning of buddhi yuktaha. Equipped with the mindset of equanimity, which we have just discussed in the previous verse. Then what does the person do? Jahati, iha. Iha means right now, in this life, in this body, jahati. Jahati means what? Gives up. Totally gives up. Jahati. Buddhi yuktaha. Jahati. Gives up. What? Ubhe. Two things. Two things gives up. Sukrita dushkrite. Sukrita means the punya. Dushkrita means badly done or bad actions. Papa. So meritorious results of actions that are conducive, that have gone along with dharma, meritorious results, which translate into what? Comfortable situations. Comfortable situations. Suddenly I'm happy. I got something that I never expected. Comfortable situation. Or I love studying Gita and I'm studying Gita right now. Comfortable situation, hopefully. So the idea is if it's uncomfortable, people will log off. Little harder if you're in person. But so comfortable situation. Then the uncomfortable situations in life, you get something you don't want, like COVID, unfortunately. You didn't want it, but you got it. And or what is another example? So many other examples are like that. You didn't want something, but it came. Adversity came, challenging situations came, difficulties came. You didn't plan for it, but it came. You have to face it. So this is the result of difficult actions. Okay. Now, who knows what anybody did in the last life? Many lives. It's not that, karma is not very literal. It's not that last life you punched somebody and somebody will come and punch you. It's much more creative and actually humorous. Much more creative and humorous. If you punch somebody in the last life, and perhaps in this life, you just, you have to keep punching a punch card all the time and then, working overtime and being in a, what should I say, a person maybe in a kind of a job that goes nowhere. That's much more creative use of the karma. Bhagavan is very, very creative. And so that is the dushkrita, difficult situations, challenges, and all difficulties come because of something done in the life. So, but the person with equanimity treats the both of them the same. In fact, gives up both of them. Gives up papa punya. Easy to give up papa. I don't want this. You can just say, this is not happening, like children, I'm not listening, this is not happening, but it still happens. But you can get to the place of disconnecting from it, dissociating from it, and somehow get through it. But that's not what's being talked about here. That's not equanimity. And then something which is wonderful, if you get, then also the general tendency is to linger in the pleasant and then quickly go through the unpleasant and revel in the pleasant and make it last longer and then get into trouble because it's not supposed to last longer and I'm making it last longer, etc., etc., etc. Very difficult. So therefore, here, equipped with equanimity, buddhi yuktaha, samatva buddhi yuktaha. Okay, equipped with this equanimity, the fellow, the person, the mumukshu, the jignasu, the one who is the sadhaka, the one who is the seeker, gives up both difficult and unpleasant and pleasant situations. Gives up means what? Gives up on trying to alter them and manipulate them, trying to run away from them. Especially, we are not talking of like something that you can run away from. If you can run away, please run. But we are talking of things that you cannot run away from. If you cannot run away and you try to run away, what will happen? Not very good things will happen. That's what. And so here we are talking of the place, the choices that are there. That's, that you can exercise. But when there is no choice, that's what we are talking about. So there at that time, it is a wise response to let go of both papa and punya. Don't dread the papa and do not anticipate the punya. There is a level of equanimity. And this is how someone who is equipped with equanimity looks like. That's the first line. Then tasmat, therefore, yogaya yujyasva. Yogaya yujyasva means go for yoga. What kind of yoga? Yoga of equanimity. Yoga of equanimity is yoga of objectivity. Yes. Yoga of objectivity. Yoga of equanimity. And so therefore, go for the yoga of equanimity. And then what do? You just don't worry about the results of action. Results of action are just a tail of the comet of action. It will come. And whether it's a tail that will, that you will live to tell the TALE, or whether it's a tail that lashes, we don't know. So, but both of them, you have an even mind because you're looking upon it as in an objective way. And so presenting this yoga of equanimity, Lord Krishna says, start following this. When in my next life? No, right now. Oh, but right now we are having such a good Bhagavad Gita discussion. No, you need to fight. You need to fight. So you need to be equipped with this equanimity because you don't know the outcome of the war, whether it will be conducive or inconducive to you. So therefore, pick up this buddhi yoga. And then what? And then get ready to become a karma yogi. And what is this karma yoga? Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Second definition. What was the first definition? Samatva. I was going to lose my samatva. So this is the meaning of the 50th verse. Okay. So the one who is endowed with the evenness, equanimity, with reference to pleasure and pain, with references to punya, papa. Punya is equal to pleasure, and definitely. Papa is equal to challenges and pain. So discard both of them, meaning does not mind them. Undergoes whatever there is to undergo without always trying to manipulate and alter the things. And so therefore, yujyasva means join together. Yujyasva, it's a command. It's a lot, means it's a command. Join together. Therefore, join together. How to join together? Join with what? With this buddhi. Yogaya yujyasva. Join with this yoga. Why? Because yoga is, the second definition comes, it's a separate sentence. Okay, yoga, tasmad yogaya yujyasva, there we should have a full stop. Then it will become very clear. Then what is this yoga? What is the second definition? Yoga is the ability, the dakshata. Dakshata means the same thing. Dakshina murti, same thing. Dakshata. Daksha means the one who is clever. And the one who is clever in interpretation. Interpretation of dharma, we'll see that. So that is what is the second definition of yoga. Because as I mentioned, dharma is the righteous living, is not something which is very static. The definition of righteous living is not something that is static. What is the correct thing to do is not at all self-evident. Every jiva doesn't come with a little instruction booklet. So that when all else fails, you can go back and read the instruction. It doesn't come like that. And you have to all the time figure it out. And every situation is a new challenge, a new situation that you have never encountered before. And so therefore, you first say, oh my God, what am I supposed to do here? And even if you have, let's say you have 2 or 3 children, all of them are very different from one another. Just because you have one child, don't think of yourself, oh, I have a PhD in parenting. You don't, because they are so different. They will be so different. And you think you figured it out with one child, and the other one, throws all your skills back at you, parenting skills, throws them in your face and say, this is not working, try something else. And that's also not working, try something else. Same thing with the job. You think you've got to, you've been employed somewhere, and then, okay, I have picked up all the skills I need and I know what to do. And let's say you want a better job, you get a better job, go there, and you think you know the basics and you know what, you got this under the belt. But no, it's not in the bag. And it is something again and again to be figured out. How to deal with the people, that's a very big thing. How to deal with different kinds of people. Each one requires that you do a PhD on them or study the Gita, either way, that's easier. Study the Gita means just one thing you have to study. All the other things, each person you need not understand separately. So this is all requires interpretation. And if I do not have a sound basis for the interpretation, because the interpretation means there should be certain values in interpreting what is called dharma. In interpreting dharma, there must be certain values that inform my interpretation. Otherwise, anything goes. Something is there unattended, and like somebody's bag in the airport, you can't just say, I think I like I like I like this bag, so I'm going to take it home. You can't do that. Harinder almost picked up an orange bag, thinking it was mine when she met me at the airport. And I said, okay, small tip, Harinder, everything I have is not orange. So just because it's orange, we can't pick it up and go. Okay. So like that. There should be a basis for interpreting this. And what is the basis? Yes, it is orange, but does not belong to me, right? That is the dharma there. Does not belong to me. And what is the dharma? What is the interpretation there? Whatever does not belong to me, I have no business touching. I have no business touching what doesn't belong to me. Why? Because it belongs to somebody else. And then if you want to go deeper, you can. How would I feel if somebody took away my bag? Because they liked the color. They like that color, whatever color my bag is, and they took away that bag. How will I feel? It will be so inconvenient. So it will be, it will put me out in a very big way. Because now where to go shopping for orange clothes? That is all there. So like this, this is, so how will I feel? I will feel uncomfortable. If somebody walks away, then it will cause discomfort to me, right? And so in the same way, I have that empathy to understand that if I take away somebody's bag, whatever they have which is specific for their needs, they will be really badly inconvenienced. And therefore, since I don't want to undergo that kind of an inconvenience, I know what it is like for the other person, and I do not do that. I do not attract that inconvenience back to me because karma has a way of boomeranging back. So I don't do that. I don't do anything that I don't want to be done to me. This is what is called samanya dharma. Samanya dharma is that's how the society works. Otherwise, you can't have laws for everything. Samanya dharma is, don't, that golden rule. Do unto others what you want them to do to you. Do not do what you don't want to be done to you. This is samanya dharma. And then, since dharma is not static, it's dynamic. Then this Samanya Dharma has a kind of a time-wise, place-wise, time-specific, place-specific, what is it called? Time-specific and place-specific variations in the form of interpretation. And somebody is having a heart attack and you shock the heart. And then what? Their life is saved, but they have 2-3 broken ribs. Is it correct to go and break somebody's ribs? No, not at all preferable. But here, that is what it took to shock the heart back. You have to break the ribs in order to shock the person back into getting some kind of a rhythm. And so here, what are we talking about? We are talking about the intention behind that himsa that was done. The intention behind the himsa is important because the intention is everything. Without the intention, then if the intention is wrong, then what happens? Then it's not a correct action. So what was the intention here? Is to break a few ribs. No. Save the life. That is what the intention was. In saving the life, sometimes the doctors have to cut into the person to remove the tumor. They're saving a life. Or they have to cut and do some kind of a heart transplant. Again, they're saving the life. Otherwise, we don't recommend that people go in and gouge out somebody's heart. We don't do that. And so therefore, the intention here is important. This is contrary to Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma does not say, please go break somebody's rib or cut through somebody's stomach. It doesn't say that. But here it's to save the life of the mother and the baby. That's why you're cutting into the stomach, and then because the baby cannot breathe or the mother's life is in danger, so you perform a C-section. And so things like this. So so there is a general dharma. Samanya dharma is what? Ahimsa. Non-injury, non-violence. That is the Samanya dharma here. That is the overarching general dharma. But there are exceptions, as we have seen. Somebody is joking, you go behind them and then do this Heimlich maneuver, and then that's not very convenient either. You shock them and then you help them to save their life. You help them to dislodge whatever was blocking the airway. And so like this is all interpretation. And that is where the quote-unquote skill, the kaushalam comes. Kaushalam comes in the interpretation. And then, one more example, in America, we drive where? On the right side of the road. We drive on the right side of the road. And then, let's say, somebody is driving on the wrong side of the road, opposite. A big truck is coming. What are you going to do? You're going to say, I'm following the law. I'm keeping to my side of the road. It's that fellow's fault. No. You quickly look, you see that it's a fairly empty road, and you swerve. You swerve so that you don't cause an accident. So these are all examples of the dynamic nature of dharma and how it needs to be interpreted on a daily basis, minute by minute sometimes. So this kind of an interpretation of this Samanya Dharma according to place and time. Place and time is not historical. According to a particular place and a situation, a particular circumstance, a particular time, how should this be interpreted? What should be done? This is what the Samanya Dharma and then Vishesha Dharma. But then there is one more one more iteration, one more component of the dharma. What is that? Swadharma. Very good. Swadharma. And what is this Swadharma? How do I fit in the scheme of things within which I find myself? This is Swadharma. Why do I have this particular body? And these kind of, these particular hands and legs, this particular talent. Why am I good in this but not good in this? This is all Swadharma. What are my limitations? What are my talents? Speaking of the body, speaking of the mind, this particular upadhi, this particular iteration of who I am in this particular life. So, what is it that I can bring to this situation? This is Swadharma. Because that is something that is, this Swadharma must be performed. And how is Swadharma performed? Through karma, of course. But then this is important to know that just because someone was born in a family of thieves, then this person's, what is that, occupation. My Swadharma is to be the best pickpocket ever. It doesn't follow, because there is even if one is conditioned and born into a family of thieves, one has the free will to say, I'm not doing this. I've had it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to accrue this kind of difficult results of action. One has that. Why? Because one is naturally drawn towards dharma unless there is a lot of disturbance or impediments or obstacles. Generally, people are drawn to do the right thing. And so Swadharma is if you look at Samanya Dharma as one circle, inside that Vishesha Dharma another circle, and Swadharma is the third concentric circle. So it's all happening within Samanya Dharma. Then the first level of interpretation collectively is, how do I interpret people's actions towards me? How do I interact with people? All these things are Vishesha Dharma. Swadharma is what is it that I have to contribute to the world at large? And then most people are, I don't know why, but people don't know the meaning of their Swadharma. They come and say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I have been trying to figure it out. And now I am 92. And doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're 92. Even if you figure it out at 92, it's wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Figure it out, it's not difficult to understand. It's Swadharma in a way is a no-brainer. But there is a lot of resistance, fear, a lot of resistance. This is a no-brainer. You are good at writing, write. I don't want to write. What do you want to do? I want to dance. But you just are terrible at dancing. You stomp around like a donkey. Yes, you're not good at dancing. No, I still want to be a dancer. One woman came to Pujya Swamiji and said, I want to be a telephone operator, but nobody is letting me. And then Swamiji was confused. Why are they not letting you be a telephone operator? And then the parents said, she is really hard of hearing. Poor thing. But she wants to be a telephone operator. It's difficult. So like this, the Swadharma is difficult to figure out because there is severe resistance. One has a great deal of resistance to what is it that I'm supposed to do. In fact, one runs away from what is it that one has to do. Why? Because there is fear. OMG, what if I fail? And sometimes, oh my God, what if I succeed? So what if you succeed? No, then I'll have to do it again. Maybe I want to do something else. What do you want to do? I want to be a dancer, I told you. Born with 2 left feet, but wants to be a dancer. Wants to do something other than this. And even parents, the parents also, when they see the children, when they see their own children, that the child has a skill in a certain area, that has to be brought up. But sometimes what do the parents do? I want to live my life vicariously through you. I could not become a dancer. I'm going to make you into a dancer. So this is why Swadharma is difficult to figure out, because there is so much block. There is a familial block, there is a parental block, there is a block in one's own heart. One does not want to do what one can do very well. Never really understood why, but that is how it is, generally speaking. They find it boring. They find it's not consequential. I will not be the best. So what are you going to do if you won't be the best? And therefore, I will not attempt it at all. What kind of a logic is this? This is the logic people have. I can't be the best, and therefore I'll just sit at home and not do anything at all. And so here, Kaushala is managing the Samanya Dharma in the light of what is there, interpreting Samanya Dharma in 2 ways is the definition of Kaushala. Interpreting Samanya Dharma according to time and place, and then interpreting Samanya Dharma in with regard to what is it that I have to do in a particular situation. It's like somebody says, oh, I think I'll get married. It's a wonderful idea. It feels like a wonderful idea. And they go to the Guru to get blessings and say, hey, Guru, is it a good idea? Do you think I should get married? What do you think? Can you give me your blessings? And the Guru gave the blessings. And this is an ancient story. The Guru gave the blessings, showered the blessings upon this young fellow, this young man, and sent him off. Yes, may you find somebody, a wonderful partner. Yes, don't wait any longer. This is a correct age to get married. Start looking and hope you find somebody. And then another fellow was sitting and he said, okay, I'm also going to go and tell the Guru the same thing. Hey, Guru, I want to get married. Please give me your blessings. And the Guru, the same Guru, said, absolutely not. Go away. And then what was the reason? Unemployed and unemployable as well. So therefore, what kind of a marriage will it be if it totally depends on the spouse? How unequal it would be, how difficult it would be, especially in those days when the men were supposed to be providers and all that. This was a story from the 60s. And so the men were supposed to be providers and all these things. And now he has nothing to show. He has no resume. He has no skills. He has, including Kaushalam, and he has no experience. And he is lazy, procrastinates, and is not employable. Nobody wants to, even their own relatives tried to give him a job, and he came out of it. Gets bored very easily, doesn't have focus, doesn't have attention, and then wants to get married. It's not correct for him, but it's correct for the other person. So is marriage wrong? No, marriage is not wrong. But then it's not right for this person's swadharma. This person's swadharma right now is self-care. Get up in the morning, take a shower, those kinds of things. Learn to have a disciplined life. Look for a job. Be self-sustaining. That is your swadharma right now. That is what it is, not getting married. And so this is the confusion comes from resistance to what one is good at, and then that is because of the fear that one may fail, or fear that I have to keep doing it if I succeed, and what if I get bored. That's partly the reason. And the second reason for the for this shunning Swadharma, one is the fear or the resistance, and the second one is the diffidence. Diffidence means not having the confidence. How can it be so easy? Is this what I'm supposed to do? It must not be this. It must be something else. But I'm good at so many things. Okay, do all the things then. Out of all those things, when you experiment, you will find that one thing really comes very easily to you. And then the other things, you will have to work a little harder. Or it is not coming to you at all. So that is the criterion for Swadharma. And so there is resistance, there is fear, and ragadveshas, of course, that is another cause of the resistance, is the ragadveshas. The ragadveshas means I want it to be a certain way. I want this only. I want to be a dancer. I already told you why you can't be a dancer. But I still want to be a dancer. This is the problem. And so this Swadharma needs to be figured out. Figured out what? One yields to Swadharma. Bhagavan given Swadharma. One yields to this Swadharma, and then only there is Karma Yoga. And that's the second definition of Karma Yoga. Bhashya. Buddhi Yuktaha. Buddhi Yuktaha means the one that is endowed with Buddhi. What kind of Buddhi? Samatva Buddhi Yuktaha. Samatva Buddhi means what? Equanimity. Buddhi, that is equanimity. The Buddhi of equanimity, endowed with the Buddhi of equanimity. And what does the person do? Then Samatva Vishaya Buddhya Yuktaha. So endowed with the gift of equanimity, Buddhi Yuktaha Jahati. Jahati gives up. Parityajyati. Iha. Iha means right here, right now. Asmin loke. Ubhe sukrita dushkrite. Punya pape. Punya pape. Punya and punyam cha papam cha. Punya pape. Punya pape. Jahati gives up. Gives up these, the punya and the papa, gives up the penchant for avoiding the unpleasant and seeking the pleasant all the time. Why? Because there is sattva shuddhi dvarena, sattva shuddhi jnana prapti dvarena yataha. Yataha means yasmat karanat. This is the reason. Yataha means because. Because of what? Why is this given up? How did this person get this maturity? Because of having managed the raga and dvesha for a long time on one's own. So the successful raga dvesha management, it yields a very good result. And what is the result that it yields? It allows one to become more and more sattvic. And what is the meaning of sattvic? More and more inner purity. The heart is free of wanting to pursue something or the other in a finite way all the time. And so, Sattva Shuddhi Jnana Prapti Dvarena, through the doorway. Through the doorway of the knowledge attained because of that inner purity. Sattva Shuddhi Dvarena. Sattva Shuddhi is the dwaram for which Sattva Shuddhi means the inner lightness of being, where one has given up trying to keep on going after what one wants all the time. That lightness of being, that kind of a goodness of being, the lightness of being, the dharmic person, minting oneself into a dharmic person, that is Sattva Shuddhi. And it comes in the Kaivalya Upanishad also. And in which mantra? Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatvamana shubhu. In that mantra it comes. Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva Shuddhaha. So those who have gained this Shuddhi, this inner purity, where the Ragadveshas do not bother them anymore, and then so Sattva Shuddhi Jnana Prapti Dvarena Yataha Tasmat Samatva Buddhi Yogaya Yujyasva Ghatasva. Therefore, better to join this yoga of evenness of the mind. Evenness of the mind is very important. So join this. Start doing this. Start following this right now, because this is going to help you. This is what is going to help you. Yogo hi karmasu kaushalam. That's why he has made it a different paragraph. Yoga hi karmasu kaushalam. And he's going to explain, which we'll see this next time. We've already seen this. We'll have to see it a little more things. He is going to explain as Swadharma Keshu Karmashu Vartamanasya Ya Siddhya Siddhyoho Samatva Buddhihi Ishwararpita Chetasa Tat Kaushalam. So what is this? What is this Kaushalam? He's going to define Adi Shankara. Then we'll see that next week, which is what?
The 9th.
The 9th. Yeah. 9th, same place, same time. Okay. What is tomorrow? Shatashloki. We are studying a verse, 100 verses by Adi Shankara, Shatashloki, and we are towards the close of it. You're welcome to join if you would like. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, Swamini ji.
Thank you. Nice to see all of you.
Goodbye.
People from our friends we met in Sailorsburg are here.
Oh,
Nice.
Thank you, Swamiji.
So many people are here. I'm happy that you are here. It's like we don't have to say goodbye. That's nice. That's
Thank you, Swamiji.
wonderful. Welcome. See you later.